Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you a key lime cheesecake that I made for a big family dinner party we were having. As you can see, I started out making the crust with graham crackers. I used 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. These are ones I just already purchased in the box, but you could also crush up your own. I also need melted butter, so here I am getting my butter ready to melt. And as you can see, I don't use the whole stick. I end up going back afterwards and actually using one whole stick of butter. I'm adding in 4 tablespoons of sugar. Give it a little stir. And then I go in with just a pinch of cinnamon. You can add a little bit more if you would like. This recipe honestly turned out perfectly. I will put the ingredients and measurements down below that I used because I was really pleased with this. Now I am going to stir in the melted butter. And again, as you can see, I end up going back after and melting just the rest of that stick. I also love this cast iron tiny pot. I will link it down below. It's perfect for things like melting butter. So here I'm just giving it a good stir to combine all of the ingredients and get the melted butter as mixed in as possible. It's at that point that I realize I do want to use the rest of the stick. It didn't call for that, but I am really glad that I did it. Can't go wrong with more butter, in my opinion. So now I'm happy with the texture, and as you can see, I'm showing you kind of what it should look like at this point. And there it is. And I am going to use this pan because I do not own a springform pan. And just to show you, I wanted to show you the size of the pan I used so that you can have an idea of what to use for yourself. It's about 11 inches across. Now I am adding all of the graham cracker crumb mixture into the pan. I'm trying to level it out and kind of pat it down a little bit. Next, I go in with my measuring cup and I just really work it in all the way around and up the sides a little bit of the pan. Since I don't have the springform pan, I'm kind of trying to mimic it and get some of that crust up the sides. As you will see, it doesn't look very pretty in the end in terms of the looks of this, but let me tell you, friends, it is so delicious. The crust turns out excellent, and I cannot say enough about the cream cheese filling mixture. So good. Baking is not my forte. I like cooking because I feel like it's more forgiving and a little more artistic, whereas with baking, you have to follow your recipe more exactly. And I just feel like I have a lot of flops with baking and a lot of things don't turn out. So when something turns out for me, I want to share it with you guys because it's important. Now I'm putting this into the oven. Most recipes call for a longer time period to cook your crust. I only do 5 minutes and I'm really happy with that. Next up, I'm getting the cream cheese mixture ready. I put in 2 blocks of cream cheese and I give it a good mix first, and I left it on my countertop to get it to room temperature, and I really whip it pretty good with the beaters. Next in, I add in 3/4 of a cup of sweetened condensed milk. This recipe calls for the whole can, but I'm modifying it to fit the mixture into the pan I'm using, again, since it's not spring form. I added some vanilla and I'm mixing it again. Just making sure it's really well incorporated and creamy. Just making sure there's no lumps and that it's a good texture. Next up, I add in 2 eggs. I was supposed to add them in one at a time and I totally forgot, but it didn't seem to matter. And I just give those another whiz with the beaters. Next up, I am then going to add the star of the show, the lime. It's not actually key lime, even though I call it key lime cheesecake. I never have key limes, so these are just regular limes I'm zesting in. I'm going for a tablespoon of lime zest, but I just eyeball it. And then I add the lime juice. And then give it another little stir just to get that combined. And it is looking beautiful and nice and creamy. Now it is time to pour it into the pan. It looks so good. You guys won't be sorry. Definitely try this. It was great for company. Everybody loved it. I refrigerated it after I baked it. I actually froze it for a little while and then put it in only because I was out of space, but eventually it got into the refrigerator. Then I popped it into the oven. I baked this at 300 degrees for 30 minutes and it was perfection. You are supposed to be able to jiggle the cheesecake, and just about an inch diameter in the center should just slightly jiggle when you give it a little shake like that. And that's how you know it's done. Friends, thanks for watching. I will link everything down below in the description box. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I upload a video every other day. Can't wait to see you next time.